Hello, everyone. How are you today? Today, we're going to talk about taking that very first step in your leap of faith to achieve the goals and the changes you want. But first, as you come in, tell me hi, tell me where you're from. If you need to, allow StreamYard to show me your name so I can see your comments in the comment section. And let me introduce myself. I'm Kelly Lee Sappenfield. I'm a fifth generation metaphysician, soul evolution coach, spiritual speaker, and author. And today I really want to talk to you about how scary it can be when we want that change in our life and we want to make a pivot in some way. But that very first step of whatever we need to do is always the scariest, isn't it? It's like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And you feel like maybe you're stepping off a cliff, but you know you really want that vision you're holding in your head. But in order to do that, you've got to take that step, right? And you're like, oh, I don't know, because if I take the step, I can't necessarily step back onto this side of the cliff, right? So I want you to think about how many times do you really do take that first step? Or how many times do you get to the very edge and then you pull back? Because when we get to the very edge and we pull back, we're saying, oh, I don't know. I don't know if this is really my vision, if this is really what I want. Is this the change I'm really looking for? And we start having all those questions and all those doubts in our heads, and we keep pulling back and pulling back and pulling back. Because that very first step is scary because it's into the unknown. It could be changing, moving addresses. You really want to move. You really want to change up. Maybe even move states or countries where you live. But take that very first step. Are you willing to do it? Maybe it's changing up your relationships or your career. You never know what can happen if you don't take that very first step, right? Hi, Becky. And I'm Oscar. I am so sorry if I just butchered your name. Hello, though. But yeah, when we take those very first steps, that signals to your peeps. And when I say your peeps, I mean your guides, your angels, the universe, the divine, and your loved ones on the other side. They're your peeps. But when we take that first step, no matter how scary it is, that sends up a huge signal to say, okay, they're ready. They want this change. They want to move forward. They really want to see what life can really be all about. And so, you know what happens? When you take that first step and you take that leap of faith and you step off that cliff, Spirit comes in and gives you your wings so that you can fly. They're never going to let you hit bottom. They are never going to let you hit bottom. You may feel as though, okay, bottom is like an inch away. Hello, peeps. Come on. Where's my wings? You may get that feeling, but they will never let you hit bottom. You have to signal to them that, yes, this is really what I want, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it. Hi, Athena. Hi, Teresa. And I so want you to be able to take that leap, because when we take those leaps, that's when the magic happens. That's when we go and we see what we are capable of. It's scary, but you know what? It boosts our self-confidence. It boosts our self-esteem. It makes us courageous. It makes us be able to say, hey, you know what? I can go for my visions. I can go for my dreams. I can go for what it is I really want in this life. You know, we were all put here to be uniquely us. Absolutely 100% unique. Not to all be the same people lined up in a row doing the exact same thing and following the exact same life. And it's when we take those leaps of faith, we're declaring, hey, I'm me and I'm worth it. And yeah, I may stumble, I may go down a path that it's like, okay, that didn't work, but I learned some lessons and I'm going to pivot over this way. And I'm going to pay attention to the signs my peeps give me exactly how to pivot. But the very first step is taking that leap. And sometimes we can take that leap by ourselves. And sometimes we may need a mentor or a guide to help us along the way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you more than or less than if you can do it on your own or if you want help along the way. What matters is that you're actually willing to take the leap. Trust me, there have been times I've taken leaps of faith and I had absolutely no idea what it was going to turn out. One example, we were given the opportunity to move to Abu Dhabi. I'd never been to the Middle East. I didn't know anything about the United Arab Emirates. Before the job opportunity came up for my husband, we went in almost 99% blind. But when the opportunity came, we took that leap. And it was freaking phenomenal. We had the time of our lives in Abu Dhabi. We got to see and experience things that we would have never been able to do from the United States. We got to meet people from all over the world, all different cultures, and make friends regardless of what country we may have grown up in. But we were all communally in Abu Dhabi. Plus, I got to travel to parts of the world that were only a couple hours plane flight from Abu Dhabi that would have been like a 20-hour plane flight from the United States. There were so many opportunities there. But we had to take that first initial leap. And that first initial leap was when my husband was offered the position over there for him to say yes. For him, he came home, he said, this has been presented to me. What do you think? And at first I was like, well, I don't know, because I don't know anything about the Middle East. I hear a lot of stuff that's given on the media, but you never know what's true and what's not true, right? So you have to be willing to take that leap. And sometimes that leap is in your career. Sometimes that leap is in your personal life. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you say, okay, this makes me a little uncomfortable. I'm going to have to get out of my comfort zone here. I'm going to have to do something that maybe I've never done before. Or I'm going to have to do it in a way that I've never done it before. And yeah, I'm scared. I've got that feeling inside of me. Well, first off, when you get that feeling and you're like, I don't know, and you're like, ooh, I'm scared. I don't know if I really want to do this. Change your mindset. Change your mindset from saying, ooh, I'm scared to, ooh, this can be exciting. This can be an adventure. This can be something that is so much fun. I have no idea at this point. So when we change, we acknowledge the feeling, but then we change our mindset around what the feeling is. Because biologically, fear and excitement is the exact same feeling. The difference is the mindset behind it. So take a moment and just think, okay, what is it you're afraid of? What is it you're scared to do? What has been holding you back? Because I'm sure in your head you played worst case scenario. Oh my gosh, if I do this, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Right? Have you ever done that? Have you ever played worst case scenario in your head? What happens when you do that? When we play those worst case scenarios in our head, that gets us aligned with that vibration of the worst case scenario. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be aligned with any worst case scenario vibrationally. I want to be aligned with best case scenarios. Now, some things work out, some things don't. And a lot of times, what we're being chosen to take that leap for isn't actually the destination Spirit has waiting for us. It's so grand that Spirit hasn't even put it into your mind yet because you couldn't absorb it. It's kind of like the person who's like, I just want a job. And they're like, you can have a career. But the person isn't ready to hear that they can have a career, that they can be an entrepreneur, or that whatever it is that they can accomplish, because they're in the mindset of, I just need a job. And I know a lot of people out there right now are kind of in that mindset. I just need a job. Now's the perfect time. Now's the absolutely perfect time. If you have a talent, which I know you do because we all have talents, it's time for you to share your talent with the world. People need you, uniquely you. And it doesn't matter if you are a health coach and you love yoga. And yes, there's a million other health coaches out there that love yoga. You're still uniquely you. And people will resonate with you that don't resonate with others. And that's key. Never, never, never think of yourself in competition with someone else, because the only person you're in competition with is yourself. So every time you get scared and you step back from the edge of taking that leap of faith, that's when you're saying, I'm in such competition with myself that I'm just going to take myself out of the competition. Why would we want to do that? I really, really want you to take those leaps of faith, because when you do, that's when the magic happens. It's amazing the doors that will open, the opportunities that will come, the people you will meet, the things that Spirit will bring you spiritually also, the connection you'll have when you're in line and a co-creator of your life actively, not sitting back and letting life happen to you, but you out there making life happen. Did you get that? Let me repeat it. Don't sit back and let life happen to you. Instead, be out there actively making life happen. Now, if you do need help, I'm going to put in the comments a link in order for you to grab a spiritual power hour with me. You can't find these on my website. You have to get it through an entity that I put it out there. But I really want you, if you're having trouble making that commitment to take those leaps, to grab an hour with me so that we can get you in the right mindset and get you going and get you excited about those leaps of faith. Because they happen and they are so important. Because without them, life would be boring. Think about it. If everything was just normal, there was no change, and you just went every single day, and the same day was the same every single day, day after day, for 70, 80 years, you would be bored out of your ever-loving mind. And when we start feeling that restlessness, that need for change, no matter how scared we are, it's probably because we've been fighting change. And I understand change can be, to some people, almost a bad word. And because they're like, I've done it this way for this many years and it's always worked. And I'm going to continue to do it this way because it works. I'm not messing with it. And then one day it doesn't work anymore. And you know why? Because spirit comes in and says, you're here to grow. You're here to evolve. You're here to live life. You're not here to just exist. And since you've been just existing for too long of a time and you've been refusing every opportunity we give you, we're going to kind of push you now. We're going to knock on your shoulder and say, you know what? You're changing. Now you can change proactively, or we can force the change upon you. Personally, life is a lot better when I am proactive and co-creating with spirit than when I'm not. And trust me, I'm human. I've had times where it's like, nope, not doing that, not doing that, not doing that. And then spirit finally says, okay, you're doing it whether you want to do it or not. And it can be simple things and it can be major things. But whatever it is, be proactive about it. And like I said, if you're in a place and you're like, oh, I really want this, but I just can't take that step, grab an hour with me and we'll get you not only taking that step, but excited to take that step. Teresa says, that is so true. Sometimes we don't even know. Exactly. Sometimes we're just like, oh my gosh, I know I want to take that step, but I cannot see. It's like the densest fog, and I'm stepping off the highest cliff in the world, and I can't see anything. Well, you know what? Those are usually the most exciting periods of your life. When you look back on them and you realize, oh, I stepped out into that fog to where I couldn't even see the hand in front of my face, and I stepped off that huge cliff. Oh my gosh, wasn't that the best thing I ever did? Yeah, I may have learned a lot along the way. I may have learned things that, okay, don't want that, or whatever. But you know what? That's what we're here for. We're here to evolve. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. We're here to teach. We're not here to sit back and twiddle our thumbs and just follow everyone else's footsteps or opinions. Because you know what? When we went to move to Abu Dhabi and my husband said yes, the only person we had told is a couple of really close friends and our son and the two of us. My family, his family, none of them knew until we said yes. And boy, did we get the opinions. Everyone had an opinion about why we should not do it, why we should not go. Oh my gosh, that's halfway around the world. What if something happens? And that's why we didn't tell people. Because we knew their opinions, as much as we loved them, really didn't matter. The decision was ours to make. And sometimes that's where we get tripped up, is we're just in the visioning scenario of it, and we're like, okay, I've got this leap. But let me ask everyone's opinion, and if everyone tells me no, then I won't do it. Well, if we all listened to everyone else's opinion, we would never do anything. Because everyone's telling us all the time not to do something. Oh my gosh, you're going to do that? Are you crazy? Have you ever heard that one before? Because I have. And yes, Teresa, be an original. because that's what you're here for. We're not carbon copies. We're not pre-programmed to be the exact same of everyone else. Now, if you have someone that you really trust their opinion, then you go ahead, ask them. But I come from a very large family that has very strong opinions. And I knew that if it got out in my family, my phone would be blowing up. Whether it's messenger, text messages, phone calls, whatever it was. And we had to do what was right for us. And we did. And everyone now, all those opinions, oh my gosh, you shouldn't move. Are you crazy? Moving halfway around the world? All of them were like, oh my gosh, you were so brave. I'm jealous. I wish I could do that. That's fabulous. So you see, a lot of times those opinions are from the people that are so afraid to take their first steps that they can't see allowing anyone else to take their first steps. And usually that's an unconscious belief, an unconscious paradigm they have in their head, that if I have to stay in this box, be it because society says I'm in this box, because my family says I'm in this box, whatever it is that's in this box, and everyone expects me to stay in this box, and I'm like, but I'm not a square peg. So really think about where you need to change, where you need to take those leaps of faith. And it could be as simple as something as in your daily habits. Maybe there's something that you just need to change up and do it in baby steps. Okay, today I'm going to do this. Today I'm going to do this. Take health, for example. Maybe you know, diabetes runs in my family. I know the signs and symptoms of it, and I'm starting to kind of show some of those. So maybe I need to start paying attention to what I eat. And so today, I'm going to make sure I don't have as many carbs. Or today, I'm going to try not to eat sugar or drink pop or soda, whichever you call it. And you take baby steps because you recognize the signs early on, as opposed to all of a sudden ending up in the hospital because your blood sugar levels got so high that you were having to be rushed to the hospital. So there's baby steps we can take along the way. And Spirit gives us the signs of what we need to do. So pay attention. I hope this resonates with you, and share it out. If there's someone you know that's kind of standing back from the edge of the cliff and is like, oh, I don't know if I can take that step, share this video and let them see it. And hopefully it'll help them too. And like I said before, if you want to, grab one of those spiritual power hours. The link is in the comments, and let me help you, or find someone else that you resonate with to help you along the way. And in the meantime, continue to expect miracles. Have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.